This video is going to go over how to do graphs in Excel. Three different kinds of graphs: a box and whisker, a histogram, and a stem and leaf plot. All right, this is the same as what we did in class. So this video is only for you if you were absent the day we did these graphs in class, or if you just need to go back and get a refresher. Okay, it's going to be exactly the same as what we did in class. If you were here and know what you're doing, then this is not the right video for you. All right, so we will start with the box and whisker graph. So you should have downloaded this Excel spreadsheet from Canvas. Yours will just have the titles. It will not have any numbers. You will need to fill in your data from your cup flip games, or if you were absent, I gave you the Word document in Canvas that has the absent student data, so you need to type that data in here. All right, once you have your data typed in, the steps for making a box and whisker are to highlight the entire column. So I'm going to go to the letter at the top of the column and click like that so it highlights the entire thing. And I'm going to go to Insert, and the chart that I want is this blue one here, and we want a box and whisker. All right, now once I have my chart in here, this looks a little hard to read. I can't really see that line in the middle. It's difficult to see. So we're going to change the design to this clear one to make it easier to see exactly where the median is. All right, and then the last thing I need to do is I need to give my chart a title. So this data is cup flip. All right, so that's it for a box and whisker. Now for histogram, I want you to come down to the bottom here. There's a bunch of different tabs. We're going to go to the histogram tab. Okay, so that we can have a separate page to work with. So same thing, I have my data typed in here. You can copy and paste from the box and whisker page to the histogram page so that you don't have to type it twice. All right, so I'm going to highlight the column. I'm going to go to Insert. It's the same blue chart button. This time instead of box and whisker, we're going to choose histogram, and we want the one without that line there. We just want the plain histogram. Okay, now Excel kind of chooses just however many bars they think fits for the data. When you are doing these questions, it will tell you to make a histogram with a certain number of classes. It could be any number, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, anything really. But classes is how many groups are we going to make, or how many different bars should our histogram make. So you will need to be able to change the number of classes to match whatever the problem asks for. So to do that, we're going to come up here to Format. All right, and the one that we want to format is the horizontal axis. Okay, and then once I choose horizontal axis, I'm going to click Format Selection, and it gives me a little menu over here. Mine popped up already to this because I've done it before. Yours might look like this, and so if it does, click on the little chart, and it might be closed like this. We want Axis Options. Okay, what we call classes, Excel calls bins. So I'm going to tell it the number of bins that I want. So if we wanted to change this to 5, I would delete that 3, put a 5, and press enter. And then Excel will change my chart to give me 5 classes or 5 different groups. Okay, and then the last thing we are always going to do is give our chart a title. So this would be called Cup Flip. All right, and then we are good to go. Okay. And remember, I'm just showing you how to complete these directions. So you have everything written out for you on how to do it. All right, and then the last one is the stem and leaf. So this one has a few more steps, takes a little bit more time. All right, so come click on your stem and leaf tab at the bottom, and you'll see some different data in there. All right, so we need a double-digit data for a stem and leaf. All right, so you hopefully this looks familiar, have seen these in maybe elementary or middle school. This is what a stem and leaf plot looks like, and it separates things by place value. So this one, the key tells us that 1, 7 is 17. So that means like this is 13 birds, 14 birds, 16 birds. This one would be 27 birds, 32 birds. All right, it's splitting it apart by place value. All right, so we have some double-digit data here. That we are going to form a stem and leaf. So we need to add some more columns here. So we're going to call column B stems. We're going to call column C leaves. And then we're going to call column D columns. All right, so now we have our 3 different columns that we need. And then we're going to use some formulas to get Excel to break these numbers apart into ones and tens place. Okay, so for stems, I want the number that is on the left. I want the number that's in the tens place. All right, so that we're going to use a formula, and I gave you the formula in the Word document that has the notes. So it's going to be equals, and you just type it exactly like it looks. So value, all right, and then we want the number on the left. We want the number from here, from this cell. So you can either click in A2 or type A2. And we want just the first number on the left. All right, and then I'm going to close my parentheses. I have 1, 2 parentheses that are open, so I need 1, 2 parentheses to close, and then press enter. Okay, and it should give you the number 1 because number 1 is the number that's in the tens place. It's on the left of this number. Okay, now what I need to do, I need to hover my cursor over that little green square that's in the bottom there so that it changes to like a black cross. And then I'm going to drag down, and then Excel is going to do that for all of my numbers, right? So these numbers have a 2 in the tens place, so it tells me 2, 3, 4, and 5. All right. Then for leaves, we need the number that's on the right side of the number, the one that's in the ones place. So I'm going to type equals value. All right. This time we want the number on the right. Okay, from cell A2. So look in this box, tell me the one number that is on the right. Okay, and then same thing, I want to change my cursor to that black cross and drag it down. So now it should give me all of the numbers that are in the ones place in each row. All right, then the columns part, all right, this one is a little tricky. Just trust me, all right? I can explain the math to you of what it's doing if you really want to know. Or you can just trust that the math is mathin' and it's doing what we need it to do. Okay, so we're going to type in that formula from your notes. Now, one thing in these notes, this is a typo. These E's need to be changed to B's. I was using a different spreadsheet when I was making these notes and I was in the wrong column. So change your E's to B's, and then we're going to type this exactly as it is. So equals count if. All right, we want B2, and those dollar signs are important. They have to be there. B2 colon B2, comma B2. All right, close my parentheses, and then same thing, drag all of that down. All right, now I have the data that I need to make Excel make my stem and leaf. And so we're going to click in another square just over here because that's the square where it's going to put the stem and leaf in. And I'm going to say insert pivot table. Okay, first thing we have to do is tell the pivot table what data we want. So we want the data that's in B, C, and D, what we just did. So I'm going to go up to B, I'm going to click and hold and drag over to D. All right, so that my pivot table knows used all of this data. I want to make sure that this circle for existing worksheet is clicked, and then I'm going to hit OK. Okay, and now my little pivot table options over here pops up, and I need to tell Excel what goes where. So I'm going to take the stems and drag it down to the rows box. I'm going to take the leaves and drag it down to the values box. And then I'm going to take columns and drag it over to the columns box. Okay, then I can close this. And we're getting there. We're almost have a stem and leaf. We just got to clean some things up again. So in my pivot table up here, I'm going to hit design. And I'm going to pick a design that has a line after the first column because that's what stem and leaves look like. You can pick your favorite color here, whatever you want. All right. And then we need to get rid of this totals. So we're going to go up here to where it says grand totals and turn that off. And then the last thing, these are kind of weirdly spread out. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to select F to K, L, because that's where all my data is. And now if I go in between to where my cursor looks like that, I can resize this and it will make all of those columns the same size. And now I can see my stem and leaf. So I have 12, 14, 15, 17, 21, 22, 23, 25, 26. All right, now we've got it. The last thing we need is all stem and leaf graphs need a key. All right, I need the key like down here that tells me how these numbers are split apart. Like, is this 1.3? Is this 130? Or is it 13? We need a key to be able to tell us. So in Excel, I'm going to go over to the side, or you can go underneath, it doesn't really matter. And I'm going to type key. Okay, and then in the box below, I need it to say, we usually just pick the first number. So I need it to say 1 vertical line 2, like this, all right, equals 12. Okay, and so I'm going to type 1 to get the vertical line. I'm going to go to insert symbol. Okay, and there is a vertical line. Now, mine goes straight there because I've used it before. Your like boxes might look totally different. They might look like this, okay? What you're gonna do is go in this drop down menu, and you might have to search for a little bit because it's kind of right in the middle, and pick the one that says box drawing, and then that vertical line will show up. So if I click on that vertical line and hit insert, and then I close this, now I have that vertical line there. So 1 vertical line 2 equals 12. All right, and then our stem and leaf is done.